Welcome to LaTricia Creates. I am LaTricia. In today's video, we're going to create a quilted mug rug using our sewing machine. Let's take a look at the materials for this project. For this project, we need top fabric. I have 3 pieces here for my top fabric. 2 are cut to 2 1/4 by 6. This one is cut 5 1/2 by 6. We need a backing fabric. Mine is cut 6 by 9. And we need a piece of batting, which is also cut 6 by 9. We need thread with matching bobbin. I have a pair of scissors, a point turner. I have this little thing to press down the seams, an iron, an ironing mat, and the last thing we need is a sewing machine. You ready? Let's make it. We're going to head over to the sewing machine. We're going to sew the top pieces to the batting. It's going to go something like this. After we sew that, we're going to sew the backing on. Then we'll come back to the cutting table. I have my machine threaded. I'm ready to go. I'm going to use a 2.5 stitch length. What I want to do is I'm going to put the first 2 1/4 strip at the edge of the batting. Match that up. Then I'm going to take the 5 1/2 strip and I'm going to put it right sides together with the blue bumblebee. I'm going to match it to the edge. I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I have my 1/4 inch foot on here. I'm not going to backstitch. I'm just going to sew one straight stitch. Now I'm going to press the seam open. Well, I'm not going to press the seam open. I'm going to press the seam. You could take it back to the iron and press it there, but I'm just going to use this and press it here. If you don't have something like this, you can also finger press. Now I'm going to take the second strip. I'm going to put it right sides together on top of this one and match the edges. I'm going to press this one as well. I'm going to trim these little pieces of thread off of here. Now what you want to do is take a look at your topping to see if you need to square it up. I think mine is fine, so I'm not going to square it up. I'm just going to add the backing on. I'm going to put the backing on top, right sides together. I'm going to sew the same 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'm going to leave a small opening, maybe 2 or 3 inches. If you want, you can use some pins or some clips to hold your pieces together. This time, I'm going to take a couple of back stitches. I'm going to do a couple of front stitches, then I'm going to take a couple of back stitches. I'm going to stop at about a 1/4 inch. I'm going to leave my needle down, lift my foot, and pivot. I'm going to stop here, take a couple of back stitches, take a couple of forward stitches, and I'm done. I'm going to trim the excess thread, and I will meet you back at the cutting table. Now we're ready to clip the corners, turn the fabric right side out, and iron the fabric. So I'm going to clip the corners without clipping the seam. Now I'm going to turn it right side out, making sure to grab the two fabric pieces. Now I'm going to grab my point turner, punch out those corners really neatly as best as I can. Isn't this cute? Now I'm going to fold in the seam. A little bulky here where the batting is, but I'm going to fold that in on both sides to try to make it neat. Now I'm going to press it. My iron doesn't have any steam right now, so it's not going to be as nice as I would like it to be. Now we can take it back to the sewing machine, top stitch all around. Also, we can quilt it. If you want, you can do a stitch in the ditch, or you can do some other type of stitching. The reason why I broke out this sewing machine is because I want to use a decorative stitch from this sewing machine. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'll meet you back at the sewing machine. I'm going to start with my decorative stitch first. I'm going to use number 25 on my machine. I need to change the foot to the end foot. And I'm going to change the stitch length to 2.5. It's just a little squiggly line. I'm going to finish this, then I'll meet you back at the cutting table. I'm all done with the stitching. It came out pretty nice. I didn't like how I did it at first. I had the quilting too close together. I didn't like that, so I ended up redoing it. I like this better. I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but I used a 1/4 of an inch for the top stitch all around. Here's what the back looks like. Now it's ready for a final press. Then we'll be all done. Here's a closer look at the final project. I told you it came out cute. These mug rugs, they are so easy to make. They make great gifts for all occasions: Christmas, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Easter. Not only are they good for all occasions, but also for all seasons: spring, summer, winter, fall. The possibilities are endless because the possibilities of fabric, the possibility of thread, they're all endless. So many different colors, so many different styles. And when you're talking about quilting, so many different shapes. You can do triangles, rectangles, squares. It's just one of the simplest sewing projects ever, and it is such a great gift. So I hope you take the time to make some of these as well, and I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, if you like simple sewing projects, check out these two that's coming up next. And thank you so much for watching. Until next time, keep creating.